good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Daily Sovereignty Report for Monday, June 29th, 2026. My name is Aaron Thomas. Hauhitan is my traditional name, and we are diving straight into the legal, cultural, and financial shifts defining self-determination across Indian country and First Nations today. No fluff, straight to the point. Let's get into it. First up, narrative sovereignty and historic inductions. Our friends at the National Native American Hall of Fame have officially announced its 2026 class of inductees, honoring 6 Native leaders whose legacies have utterly reshaped Indian country. This year's class includes U.S. Representative Tom Cole of the Chickasaw Nation, pioneering lawyer Arlinda Locklear of the Lumbee tribe, and lacrosse superstar Lyle Thompson of the Onondaga Nation. The class also honors educator Carol Juneau and pays posthumous tribute to 2 titans of modern tribal economies, the late Agua Caliente tribal chairman Richard Milanovich and longtime Indian gaming advocate Ernie Stevens Jr. Now, why does this matter? True independence demands reclaiming our recent history. By celebrating these pioneers who have championed all kinds of different things from Indian gaming to education, Native nations remind the world that sovereignty is not given, it's asserted. Now, moving to executive leadership and health policy, the Senate Indian Affairs Committee officially advanced the nomination of Mr. Mark Cruz to lead the Indian Health Services, or IHS. Cruz defended his progressive oversight mandates, pledging to revolutionize how billions in mental health and substance use capital are distributed directly to tribal providers. Now, why this matters. Delayed funding allocation from the federal level directly costs lives. Directing capital straight to tribal health authorities removes rigid federal red tape, empowering nations to administrate and manage their own systems of care. In education sovereignty, a massive charter school overhaul. Over the weekend, the Council of the Cherokee Nation approved a landmark education overhaul. They have voted to transition the Cherokee Immersion School completely out of the Oklahoma public charter status, turning it into a fully independent, tribally governed institution. Why it matters. This represents unilateral education sovereignty. State public charter status comes with state bureaucracy and curriculum restrictions by cutting outside codes. The Cherokee Nation ensures that language and cultural revitalization is dictated by tribal law, not state politics. Now to infrastructure and environmental jurisdiction. Developers in South Dakota faced structural opposition over the weekend during contentious regulatory hearings for uranium drilling in the sacred Black Hills. The hearings marked a historic first test for the state's new public translation laws, as tribal citizens demanded and utilized real-time Lakota translation to challenge the permits. Meanwhile, in the East, infrastructure advocates are celebrating the official closure of the controversial alligator Alcatraz detention facility, constructed without proper tribal consultation on the ancestral territory of the Miccosukee tribe in Florida. Now, why it matters. Land and narrative sovereignty go hand in hand, forcing a state government to interpret Lakota regulatory testimony recognizes revenues of cultural jurisdiction, while the closure of Alligator Alcatraz proves that municipal constructions cannot trample inherent geographic jurisdiction over sacred lands. All right, a quick look at some severe weather coming up. The Storm Prediction Center has extended its extremely critical fire weather outlook through today across parts of Utah, Arizona, and Nevada, continue to present extreme wildfire risks on the Paiute, Navajo, and Hopi lands. Why this matters. Extreme weather requires independent infrastructure. Developing tribal-led disaster emergency teams allows Native nations to defend their own borders immediately, rather than waiting on delayed state or federal capital. Finally, our Sovereignty Development Watch, where financial autonomy and housing expansion take center stage. Here in California, Governor Gavin Newsom announced a massive $38.2 million injection under the Tribal Home Key Plus program, delivering resource grants directly to tribal governments to design affordable local housing initiatives. The BIA's Tribal Energy Development Capacity Grant closes July 16th. This does not just fund hardware, it funds the legal and regulatory frameworks needed to establish your own tribal utility commission. Matching that is the Department of Energy's $50 million Unleashing Tribal Energy Development Grant, closes July 24th. The bottom line? You cannot have a sovereign nation if you rely on outside corporate grids for electricity, water, housing, or data management. Whether it's removing state charter strategies to reclaim education, or building solar microgrids, or regulating resource jurisdictions, ownership is the only pathway forward. Now, if your application teams are compiling these fiscal expansions today, double check that yours has the sam.gov portal and unique entity ID, and they are completely validated. These July deadlines are closing fast. All right, that'll do it for me here at the Daily Sovereignty Report desk for Monday, June 29th. I hope you have a great, amazing Monday and a great rest of the week. I'll see you again tomorrow. Make sure to stand firm, protect the land, and again, we'll see you next time.